welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie. This is the June wrap-up and stats. Okay, I totally couldn't get that out. Yeah. So, June, where did it go? And how did it get away from us so quickly? To make sure that this video is not going to be super long and in nature of the past ones, I'm just going to get right down to it. Let's get to some stats. So I read a total of 20 books this month. 9 of those were audiobooks, 11 of them were ebooks, and 9 of them were ARCs. For the ratings, I had 0 DNFs, 0 1 stars, 0 2 stars, 1 3-star book, 14 4-star books, and 5 5-star books. For the blackout portion, this is where I read black authors, or I tell you the black authors that I read for the month. I read Real by Kennedy Ryan, The Gig Is Up by Tamara Whitlow, The Jezebel by Dylan Allen, and The Girl with Stars in Her Eyes by Zio Axelrod. On to the bookish news. So I want to give a huge thank you to all of my Patreon patrons. You guys are amazing. I love you. You're so super supportive. And I hope that you guys are enjoying the buddy reads that we are having. So the 3 that we are going to be looking at for this month are Perfectly Unhinged by Chashawn Everett, Blame It on the Champagne by Fiona Cole, and The Wedding Dilemma by Mariah Aikman. If you become a patron, you can get a choice in which one of those 3 books we read. It is only $8 per month, and you get exclusive thoughts, feelings, star ratings, and Steam fan ratings for all of the books that I read each week, and release those video book reviews on Sundays. Otherwise, you will get the sneak peek on YouTube, where I just tell you which books you can look forward to. So time for my top 5 reads for the month, which is one of my favorite things. So I only had 5 5-star books this month, so we're going to talk about those 5 books. We're going to start it off with Real by Kennedy Ryan. I absolutely love this book. This book is about a director, a black director in Hollywood who is no nonsense. He has this idea to write a screenplay for like a big and epic biopic of a jazz singer from the Harlem Renaissance, and in that he is having difficulty finding a star to star in it, a female star that has the singing chops and the personality to portray this singer. And he goes to see one of his friends over on Broadway, and lo and behold, he finds his starlet who has her one-night chance on the big stage on Broadway. And I really loved it. I loved the dual timeline of it. I loved learning about the jazz singer, as well as learning about how the 2 present day characters, our director and our actress, were going to interact. And it's a love story that is super epic between the director and his actress, as well as the jazz singer and her lovers from those times. And so much of the story was based off of real life, lesser known Black history, that I absolutely devoured it. I loved it, and it was super emotional and epic. I can't wait to listen to the audiobook, because I think it's going to bring another layer of amazingness that that is the book Real. The next book we're going to talk about, or I'm going to talk about, is The Perfect Catch by Megan Quinn, and this is the 8th book in the Briarwood Oh my goodness. I think it's Briarwood Boys. Brentwood. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe I was about to get that name wrong. Brentwood Boys. It's the baseball players that Megan has created. It's set in Chicago. The city has two teams, and this one focuses on the team that has the good reputation, the clean cut reputation. And our story revolves around Walker, who is a bad boy. He doesn't necessarily seem to fit on and in this good boy, clean cut baseball player world. He has a little bit of an anger issue. And he is assigned a community outreach specialist that kind of flips his world on in. And Walker, my dear Walker, has such a dirty, dirty, dirty mouth. And I was here for every single moment of it. I absolutely loved Walker's dirty mouth, and he had me just like fanning myself. I was like, oh yes, yes. And then of course the story between him and the community outreach specialist was great. I enjoyed that as well, but I really, really loved Walker. I loved getting to know him through his past traumas and, just his story, and I was here for it. The next book we're going to talk about is You Love Me Once by Corinne Michaels. Now, this book, I would not actually categorize this book as a romance. There is a bit of a love story within it. A couple does get their happily ever after within it. However, I think the story is more about our doctor's journey through being a gynecological oncologist. Yes, so there are content warnings within this story. There is a very, very deep discussion on trials, on like medical trials, on ethics, on cancer, on death, on grief, just all of those things. And then as we're going through this journey with this doctor, we find out that her past all of a sudden is thrust into her present, and she's dealing with those two sort of things butting heads. And I think I needed that emotional cleansing of a type story, because I cried from pretty much the beginning of the story to the ending of the story, and it was so good for me. I almost read it in one sitting. I did have to take a bit of a break in there because it's a very, very heavy book. I place it in like women's fiction. That's why I kind of say that it's not really a romance. There is a romance in it, but it's mostly about our doctor's journey, and I was here for it. Loved it. Loved every minute. But I definitely saw some of the, controversy around it, and I placed it in women's fiction for that reason, as well as the fact that it's a journey more than it is the romance. And there were moments where I was like frustrated with the journey of the character and things that were done. And yeah, I could go probably on and on about this story, but I really enjoyed it. And I know that it's not going to be for everyone, but for those that do end up picking it up and loving it as much as I did, I hope you guys, have those same sort of reasonings behind it. The next book I'm going to talk about is Angel's Promise by Alethea Romig, and this is the second book in the Devil's Duet. This concludes the Devil's Duet. I loved all of the spirituality and New Orleans sort of feel that Alethea placed in this one specifically. There was a hint of that spirituality and those sort of spiritual feelings in the first book, but this one really kind of made you understand why there was so much discord within the city and the two warring families, and I loved all that history of it. I don't want to give too much away because it is a book too of a duet, so can't say too much about it. And then the final book I'm going to talk about is Burlock Sector by Lexi C. Foss. This is the third and final book in the X-Clan series. But if you are sad that it's the third book, don't be too sad, because as you're reading this book, you will find out that Lexi has another series coming that deals with one of the characters from this book, and I loved that teaser. And I'm chomping at the bit for this new series so much. That character was so intriguing. But what really, really stood out to me in this book is that these two characters, we saw these two characters in the previous 2.5 books for the series. I did not realize that I would love an alpha sort of cinnamon roll. I don't even know that I would call him a cinnamon roll, because he had all of the characteristics of an alpha wolf, and I was here for that. Our female wolf in this book is going through some things. So if you were looking for the content warning and the trigger warnings for this book, make sure that you read the author's note. She says it way better than I could ever tell you. But heed what the note says, because there are some very, very dark moments within this story, because our character is going through some dark moments in the storyline and of her life through the story. And I was just like, ugh. And then the way that our alpha male wolf and our omega female wolf interact, and just, oh, I loved it. I loved it oh so much. And like I said, I can't wait for that new series that Lexi teased at through this book. Alrighty, so that is the monthly wrap up. Let me know down in the comment section if you read any of those books, or if you liked any of those books. Are you gonna go pick up any of those books? Let me know down there. At the end, there will be a section by section, week by week, chronological breakdown slideshow of what I read last month, so that if you decide you want to become a patron, you will be able to go to the correct week and find those full thoughts, reviews, star ratings, and Steam fan portions of that. Yes, for the book that you're looking for. Oh my goodness. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box, so you guys can help me improve my channel. My Patreon and my PayPal are down there. All my other social links are down there as well. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in another video.
So let go, I don't want to, but I'm gonna try. When she left me, yeah, let a little bit inside. You know, maybe things are gonna be alright. 'Cause I just wanna see the light. I'm so sick of waiting and getting too restless to be in this dusty town. I've heard of this place where people forget and you get another try. So come open up my door. I don't wanna be here and let the one pass me by. I won't see your face wherever I look. I'm blinded by the light. I don't want to, but I'm gonna try. When she left me, yeah, died a little bit inside.